Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. It's Jacobs to start the drive. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Carr going to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They go play action now. Ryan. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, his 5th touchdown now on on the year. And the Colts are on the board first here in Vegas. Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy.
Next to score, Colts 7, Raiders 0. Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've been terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team? They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. 20. 5. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts TD. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. Are back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that. Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Carr. He finds his man Johnson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. Can't get away, and he's taken down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
If this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen, here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Jacobs. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has a real priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Carr now to throw. Steps away. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Derek Carr taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Raiders have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. And here comes Abdullah on the return. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. Quick slant into the hands of Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Raiders at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Okereke. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
First and 10, Taylor now. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on second down, Ryan.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Jonathan Abram picks it, and the Raiders are going to get the football here as it gets this up to the 38-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago, and 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking, and the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
That's Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker who got in and dropped him to the turf. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Carr.
Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second and 5. They run once more with Taylor.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
The handoff, Jacobs running to the left. Room here to run. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From the 10.
Isaiah Rogers on the return. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run out, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. A beautiful fake. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Ryan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Abdullah to return. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Yannick Ngakoue. Just as hard to say his name as he is to block. He's there in on the stop that time.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. From the 6.
Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A give for Taylor running right side. And some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Quick throw into the hands of Pittman. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
He'll get this one to Pittman. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. A few moving pieces on that play, because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
On second and very short, Ryan. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. The carry here for the big tight end. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So Ryan heads to the sideline, and out now is Rodrigo Blankenship for the Indianapolis field goal try.
This will be from 39 yards out.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And they take a 17-14 lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
After the made field goal, here's Blankenship again. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little peppin'.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked off by Julian Blackman.
He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a first and goal trying to stop him. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
Now it's Ryan.
Got a man, it's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown.
A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Colts take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Blankenship out for the point after.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Colts 24, Raiders 14.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite might as well, because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Once again, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. It's caught outright by Graham.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Up the middle, here's Taylor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. But a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So Ryan heads to the sideline, and out now is Rodrigo Blankenship for the Indianapolis field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Blankenship's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. We look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
To the right side, this is Taylor.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give him the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
The Colts on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
Play action. Ryan. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Now it's Ryan. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Raiders are right back in this football game. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercepted. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Rodney McLeod up to make the tackle.
Defense is always talking about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. From the 17, Carr.
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Isaiah Rodgers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Now I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it. Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking it in the foot.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Anthony Averett picks it.
And the Raiders are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football.
And the Raiders are right back in this football game.
Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Carr. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself conquered.
94 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Back to Taylor on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And simple. That's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm was just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gets this to Waller. And he's out right at the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They turn to Taylor on 4th. And this winds up a disaster nowhere near the marker. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last point of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Indianapolis, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.